Hi, Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic with 30 years of experience. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2014 F-150. Now, coming in on the front right tire, you got aggressive snow tires, but they are definitely down. You got about 20% tread on aggressive snow, so down, not quite out, but definitely down. Coming behind the front right tire, first I want to point out this is the outer CV boot. Now it's full of grease. If it was ripped, you'd see grease all over the place. This is the inner CV boot, and again, it's full of grease. If it was ripped, you'd see grease all over the place, which would not be good, because this is the drive shaft of the car, and it needs that grease to stay lubricated. Now this is your right sway bar link connected from here to here, doing its job, helping with the sway of the vehicle. This is your lower ball joint right here. Now this is critical because it's one of the two things that hold the wheel to the chassis, and that is tight. Now your brakes, you've got a good amount of brakes here. You've got, oh yeah, you got brand new brakes. You got about 50,000 K on your front brakes, just been changed. Your upper ball joint right here, a little harder to see here. The upper ball joint here is the second point where it holds the wheel to the chassis. It is tight, critical. So suspension-wise, brake-wise, leak-wise, I don't see any rips and any tears, and I'll take you through the rest of it right now. Okay, now this is the right front strut. Now this tube here is full of oil, and if it was leaking, you'd see it dripping all the way down here. You see for yourself, good and dry. Now the spring suspension here, all the way up to here, intact, not cracked or ripped in any way, shape, or form. So suspension-wise, on the right is good. Now this is the most critical thing in the entire truck. It's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering. Is called the outer tie rod on the right, and this is tight. So this is critical because if it holds the wheel to the steering, if it lets go, there is definitely trouble in paradise. So no issues with that whatsoever. Now I am not seeing anything leak-wise here as well, so that's a good sign because nobody wants oil in their driveway. Okay, coming in on the front left tire, again, about 20 to 30% tread on aggressive snow tires, definitely down, but not out. Coming into the front, okay, in the front left outer tie rod, this again, most critical of all, and it is tight. The lower ball joint, the left lower ball joint is tight. Your spring suspension, if you follow up again, if it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here, and you can see inside there, all good and dry. Spring suspension all intact, no leaks, no cracks. So that is your inner CV boot right there, and again, it's not ripped. You see grease all over the place. The outer CV boot right there, not ripped, and you'd see grease all over the place. So far so good. Your left sway bar link connected from here to here. Your brakes, yeah, brand new brakes on your front, like 50,000 K. No issues with your hoses. I don't see any cracks or any breaks. Your suspension tight, no leaks, no drips that I can see of. I mean, this just a shot. This is like a shot under the diff, the front diff here. And if it was going to leak, you see oil dripping right along here. That's not leaking. This is the bottom of the oil pan, of the transmission pan here. If it's going to leak, you'd see it all across here, good and dry. Bottom of the motor of the oil pan here, and you see for yourself, good and dry. So I'm not seeing any leaks in this whatsoever. Now this right here is one of two cats, and the big problem is people are reaching under here and going cut and going cut, and you've just lost yourself you got yourself about a $1,500 repair. And believe me, these cats can be gone in less than 5 minutes. It's so simple. And so what I do is I have a theft protection system that doesn't cost you a penny. If you buy the vehicle, simply the dealer will send you to me. I'll install it, and the people that it'll just save your cat. That's all it's going to do, and save you a lot of grief and a lot of money. And that's, if you buy the vehicle, it doesn't cost you a penny. Okay, your spring suspension, I'm not seeing any cracks, any breaks in your spring suspension. I'm not seeing any leaks. This is your bottom of your diff here. If it's going to leak, you'd see it all along here. That's good and dry. Another place is, okay, I'm not seeing a little bit of sweat right here. Nothing, not dripping, a little bit of sweat coming from this seal right here, but definitely not dripping, just so you're aware of it. Brakes, you're looking at, oh, brand new brakes in the back as well. So you got brand new brakes front and back, 50,000 K front and back brakes. So lots and lots of brakes. Your spare tire comes in handy. You've got a class 3 hitch with a 7-prong plug, comes in handy. And yeah, so far so good. Now check on the right rear tire. And your right rear tire, same thing. About 20% tread left, down but not out. Brakes brand new, 50,000 K. No leaks that I can see here. No, your spring suspension, I don't see any cracks, any breaks. The yeah, so looking good, leak wise, brake wise, suspension wise so far. Okay, now this is your right rear shock, okay? And if it was leaking, and it's full of oil, if it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here. That is bone dry, and that's everything you need. Your exhaust is intact. I don't see any issues with your exhaust. There's your muffler. And the rest of the exhaust system, I don't see any issues with that at all. Your left rear shock is good and dry as well. So everything I've seen so far, no issues. You got 198,612 for K. You got a, okay, you see your tire light flashing there? Okay, that's one or more tire sensor is funky. They have little batteries in them and they only last so long. So what you'd have to do is go to a tire shop and they would scan it and they could tell you if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now it costs $80 a tire. If all, the worst case scenario is all 4 tires need sensors, so you're looking at $320 plus tax to get all 4 changed. But usually it's not all 4. It could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. But just so you're aware of, that little light is not going to go out until the offending sensor or sensors are changed, and then it'll go out. So just that you're aware of that. Other than that, no, the AC is blowing. Oh yay, blowing nice and cold. Now I'll take you out and show you the condition of the motor. Okay, 3.5 liter. That's the new motor. That's pretty much the standard motor that Ford is using now, and I'm not hearing anything of any concern. Okay, with the motor running, this is a shot of the exhaust. No concerns. Now, just give you a tip here. If you're ever going to look at a car, the first thing you do before you look at anything else is pull the oil cap off, because this is the oil cap for the motor, okay? And take a look inside, and if you see any kind of white goo, walk away, because that's an indication of an internal leak of oil and antifreeze, aka a head gasket. Big problem. So now this is clean as you can see, and so no issues with that on this particular motor. In fact, I'm not seeing anything of real issue on this truck. It's been well maintained. It's been definitely gone over. And Manny is very careful, and I have to vouch for him because he is very careful about what he puts out in the street there, because he just doesn't want problems. And again, it's the reason why he brings me in to give you the video so you can see for yourself, because he's got nothing to hide. Now you can check out videos on every piece he's got, because it's always the same. He's just got nothing to hide, and we want you to know. Now, in addition to this, I'm also going to put on a 10% fuel saving device. It costs you nothing. If you buy the vehicle, come to me, I'll put it on, and believe me, I've been doing it for 20 years. It never fails. It always works. Anyway, have a good one. Hopefully this helped you make an informed decision. Bye-bye.